What's going on, guys? It's Crypto Dave here at Top Tier Signals, and in this video I'm going to show you guys how you can find very profitable setups with our custom Entry Sniper indicator. Now, if you've seen our other videos on Entry Sniper, then you know it is a three-pronged approach to trading where you're going to have long and short zones that show support and resistance. You will have a trend regression channel that automatically adjusts to every time frame to give you the overall direction of the market, and you also have the final confirmation signal being the buy and sell signals. So how do we put this all together to find profitable trade setups? Well, guys, we're going to dive into that in this video, but if you want to try Entry Sniper for yourself, you can do so with the link down in the description. You can join our Discord, ask questions, test it out, and see what you think for yourself. But guys, without any further ado, let's go ahead and jump on into it. So in this example, we are on the Bitcoin 15-minute chart, and we're going to use this large long zone as an opportunity to take a long position. Now, you could place your entry here at the top of the long zone if you really want to get yourself entered into the trade. You could place your entry here at the bottom of the long zone if you want to be a bit more conservative with your approach. But for this example, we're just going to place it right in the middle. We're going to give ourselves a nice, comfortable stop loss because you can get deviations when it comes to price testing a level of support or resistance. So we don't want to be too tight with our stop loss because we might get stopped out of the trade before the market goes in the direction that we are wanting it to go. And then finally, we are going to use these previous swing highs here as our take profit. So as you guys can see, we have a nice, juicy trade setup using the long zone as well as this mid-range of our overall trend regression channel. Now, you guys can use the upper bound of the regression channel as resistance. You could use the lower bound of the regression channel as support. You can also trade off of the midpoint or the equilibrium of the range. So in this case, we are back testing it from above it. So we are looking for it to act as support. And that equilibrium is coming very nicely in line with our long zone. So just by replaying this previous price action, we can see that price comes down to the long zone. We get a little bit of choppiness. We get a nice pump initially. We get a little bit more choppiness, but ultimately we see price doing very well at the long zone. We are coming up. We get right back up to that short zone here in just a second. And let's just pause here and do a little recap of what we saw. Price is testing the long zone. We actually got a very nice initial bounce off of the long zone, but it never hit our entry point. There's no need to worry though, we continued to consolidate quite a bit. We had quite a lot of choppiness at this long zone, but that's okay. We set a nice comfortable stop loss, so we did not get stopped out of the trade as we were forming support here on the long zone. Ultimately, we did get a very nice bounce, and as you guys can see, throughout the course of the trade, the indicator was able to adjust to give you a more accurate reading on the market. As the trade played out, we got this short zone here at the swing highs, so that was kind of right in tandem with our original take profit. Generally speaking, once that short zone appears and price gets to that short zone, you're going to want to take some form of profit. And of course, we also saw the regression channel adjusting to the price action on the time frame. Before we took the trade, the regression channel was quite a bit wider. We were playing the equilibrium as support, which did in fact play out very nicely, but we also saw that the regression channel was able to adjust as Bitcoin formed support on this long zone. So we saw that Bitcoin found support not only at the long zone, but at the lower bound of the regression channel, which again is going to adjust automatically to the price action so you get a real-time perspective as to the overall direction of the market. So what we were able to do here is gauge a very nice level of support. We knew the overall direction of the market. We were able to play that to our advantage. We set a nice comfortable stop and a very moderate and reasonable take profit. And then once the trade was active, once we actually got that entry, the Entry Sniper indicator was adjusting for us so we would be able to better play the trade. So now we know after we tag that short zone that we could take some profit. And we also know that price is hitting some resistance as the regression channel adjusted here. Coming right in confluence, you have the regression channel high. You also have the short zone. So it's two components of the indicator working perfectly in confluence with one another. This would have been an excellent trade setup. It would not have taken too long, and it's a 2.2% unleveraged move to the upside. So you throw a nice little bit of leverage on that, and you got a juicy, profitable setup. Now, you'll also notice that in that trade setup, we did not have the buy and sell signals. You can trade with or without the buy and sell signals. If you've already seen our video on the buy and sell signals, you know it is a final confirmation for the indicator. It should not be used to blindly trade the market, but when you have all of that confluence, the last thing you are looking for is that signal as the final confirmation. So let's watch this play out here. We've hit the long zone. we've gotten our entry, we had a nice little bounce, and then there we get our final confirmation, the buy signal. At this point, we are already in our trade, but what this allows us to do is feel confident in the trade setup that we are already in. So some folks might like to trade the actual buy and sell signal after they've seen the confluence. That's perfectly fine. A bit more of an aggressive approach, like I showed you guys, is to play the other two components of the indicator, and then you have that buy signal as you're already in the trade, giving you further confirmation that you can ride that trade out. So again, the buy and sell signal is optional, but again, this just goes to show you that you don't need too much experience and you don't need a whole lot of time to be able to find a profitable trade setup when it comes to Entry Sniper. You are identifying key levels, the overall direction of the market, as well as a nice final confirmation on any asset in any given time frame. So in the first example, we saw that confluence between the long and short zones, as well as the trend regression channel, provides a very high probability setup. But what if we don't have a long or a short zone? Can we still use the indicator? The answer is, of course, you can. So in this example, we're on the 15-minute frame for Ethereum. We are not going to have the long and short zone as a part of our entry. We will have it a part of our take profit. In this example, we see that the overall direction of the market is down thanks to our trend regression channel, and that price has surged very high above the upper bound of our channel. So we think in this case that price might be quite a bit overextended. So we are preparing for a short setup. Let's just go ahead and place our short setup here. We're going to want to target the long zone, as we see that that's a very key level. If you wanted to be a bit more conservative in your approach, you could always target the midpoint of the regression channel. Or if you wanted to be a bit more aggressive, of course, you can target the long zone, and you could also do partial profit. That's the really cool thing about the indicator too, is that you don't have to be dead set on one target level for your take profits. You could take profit partially here at the regression channel midpoint, and then you could take further profits at the long zone. And again, in real time, the indicator is going to adjust for you so you can make these decisions with the most recent and most accurate data for you. But take a look at what happens. So we see that price has overextended the channel, and then we get that sell signal. So in this case, we're not basing our entry off of a long or a short zone. We are basing it off of what we can see on the chart in terms of the regression channel, and then we are using the sell signal to actually enter our trade. So let's go ahead and drag our entry down just a little bit. We're going to enter at the candle where we actually got the sell signal, and then we can see that this just plays out very beautifully. You get a little bit of chop, but ultimately you are going downward, and we absolutely destroyed the long zone. Now again, guys, support and resistance are not always going to hold up. That is why you have these little gray areas here to show you where you have a break of structure. But again, you had a very nice target, and in the blink of an eye after taking the sell signal, you are up 2.3% without any sort of leverage. So it's a very nice trade. You don't have to use all components of the indicator, but of course, the more confluence you have, the better. So that just goes to show you guys how you can use the different elements of the indicator to find profitable setups. And in a future video, we're going to take what we see here with the indicator, and we are going to introduce other indicators as well to even further boost the confidence of the trade setups and the percentage that you are profitable. Well guys, that's going to do it for this video. Make sure you guys have watched all of our Entry Sniper tutorial videos, and if you want to, again guys, you can join the Discord today, ask questions, get familiar with top tier signals. You can try out Entry Sniper with the link down in the description. But until the next video, I'll catch you guys in the Discord. Peace.